Hi, my name is Renata McFadden. I am the co-author of Breaking Free from Invisible Bars. Breaking Free from Invisible Bars is a personal testimony of a journey that my sister Asia and I went on for healing and deliverance. In this book, you'll find personal experiences as well as biblical principles to help aid people who may be struggling with stuff like depression, low self esteem, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, fear. We tackle a lot of different subjects in this book. And God has used us to help support other people on their own healing journey. So out of this book, after this book was a catalyst for birthing the Breaker Free from Invisible Bars podcast. On this podcast, I am going to bring in a host of different guests to tackle different subjects. From the very first episode, my guest was Brandy Powell, and we addressed being a people pleaser and feeling like you need to have validation from man. Brandy Powell is a 911 chaplain, and that's her title that's a handle on different social media platforms, but it's actually her career path. She's been chosen to actually be a chaplain for the 911 dispatchers. She's actually an ordained minister, and she has been trained to actually help people deal with trauma. And so God used her mightily on January the 4th on that live on Facebook to share different wisdom keys, to help people be liberated from feeling like they need to be a people pleaser or having to wait on some man to come and validate them for that before they walk in their purpose in God. Our next episode is coming up really soon. It's next Saturday. It's going to be February the 1st at 11 o'clock on Facebook. And right now, all the live streams are coming from my personal page, Renata McFadden, because I'm trying to build up enough followers on the podcast pages. Eventually I'll start doing the streaming on the Breaking Free from Invisible Bars podcast page, as well as here on this YouTube channel, Breaking Free from Invisible Bars. So next Saturday, I hope you can tune in and join me and Sheba Elamine as we have a heart-to-heart conversation about the emotional barriers that we have both had to come through. Um, there are different things that could be considered an emotional barrier. That sometimes silence is an emotional barrier. Sometimes um, isolation could be an emotional barrier. Fear could be an emotional barrier. It's just different things that could come up in your life that will block you from being able to feel and being able to connect with the people in your life. So we have to identify those things so that we can be able to address them, so that we can have healthy, effective communication, and we can have healthy, viable relationships. So I'm super excited about the opportunity to be able to just connect with my friends and my family on Facebook and YouTube and all these different platforms. I'm looking forward to the doors that God is getting ready to open and the opportunities to really be able to be a blessing to the people. I just pray that something that you see on this channel or that you see on the Facebook page, I pray something like that you hear or experience gives you strength and gives you courage to actually take on those things in your life that may have blocked you from being able to be effective and being able to be present. One of the things that my trainer taught me a few years ago, Lee Hughes, he taught me when I was doing the physical, I was in a boot camp, and he was like, wherever you are, be there. Sometimes, we could physically be in a place, but our mind or our heart be somewhere else. And in that moment, we shortchange wherever we are because we're not actually there. So I want to encourage you to take the time to really be there. Be there in this time of impartation and this time of revelation. Even if it's I always leave the lives up. Even if it's you have to wait till later on. Maybe you're busy cooking, maybe you're doing something else, and you have to wait to come back and watch it on a replay and actually take the time to focus and be there in that moment and get all that you can from these lives. These are these are moments that are actually set up by God to help bring revelation knowledge to us and be able to open up areas of our heart that have been closed, that may have been calloused from life experiences. It's just sent there to give us, to aid us on the healing, to bring healing balm to areas of wounds or maybe areas of feeling inadequate that will help us be able to become the best versions of ourselves. I really realized that sometimes, when we've gone through damage in life, whether we've gone through a disappointment, or we've through a traumatic experience, we can go through a just something devastating. We have to go through that season of healing, and we got to go through that season where we're being nurtured and being restored. And I pray that as you come alongside us and you actually get this information, that we are able to actually administer just the healing balm and the first aid and whatever you need in that moment. Sometimes, being able to be vulnerable and being able to grow through a season is hard, especially when you feel like, I don't want everybody to know, where I'm at or what I'm dealing with. And sometimes, it's not necessarily easy to put yourself out there like that for people. So I thank God that He has allowed opportunities for us to, we don't necessarily have to go through our healing out in front of everybody. We can spend that time on the altar and allowing God to minister to us and resuscitate us. Where we in a situation where we feel like our life is at stake, God can breathe new life into us, and we could be hanging on by a thread, but He could send us a word, a life sustaining word that will just make us viable again and give us strength to be able to get through a dark season. And so I pray that as you go through things in life, that God send words of encouragement, and He send words of edification, and He send words of hope and renewal to you. So that's what our desire for this Breaking Fruit podcast. It's gonna be transparent. It's gonna be talking about some sensitive things, but we're not gonna do it in a way where we're trying to bring harm, but it's a way of enlightenment and encouragement. And that's our objective with bringing these topics, to shed light on things that are often swept up under the rug and ignored, and that need to be addressed so that we can be able to go forward. We can be able to walk in purpose, and we can be able to heal. So many times when we've gone through a thing and we didn't necessarily go through it, we just survived it. But God is calling us in this hour and in this season to not just coast through life, but to thrive in it. And sometimes, in order to be able to be viable and thrive in a season, you have to be willing to ask yourself the hard questions, and you have to be willing to take on those things that are often brushed off. We The real work is internal work. The real work is a personal thing. It has to be something that you got to be willing to roll up your sleeves sometime and get in there and actually do the work. When I tell you, writing this book, it took some soul searching. It took some being transparent moments. It took some crying sometimes. It took some just me really just pulling myself to the carpet and facing some things that I had allowed to fester, that I had allowed to just stay dormant in me, that needed to be addressed so that I can grow and I can go forward. Healing ain't always easy. And I thank God that He's a gentleman. He does not force us to go through a thing, but He supports us in a thing, and He will give us just what we need to make it through that season. There have been times in my life where I felt like I was drowning, but then God sent me a lifeline. through different people that would just pour into me, that would just cover me in prayer, and that would just be willing to be a shoulder for me to cry on, a listening ear, and would combat with edifying words and speak life into me and breathe afresh upon me so that I could be able to rise up and come out of that season with strength and with courage. And so that's what I have assembled a plethora of people with different skills and different levels of understanding and different wisdom keys to be able to that are eager to come and share with us so that they can be able to help us process and be able to grow. So I'm excited about what's to come in 2025. I'm excited about this opportunity to really help people, give them lifelines and give them the moral support that they need, give them the prayer and give them the impartation that they need to be able to be the best version of themselves. So yeah, if you missed last year's conference, last year in October we had a group of panelists that came. We had a life coach. We had the 911 chaplain was there. We also had a prophet. All of us were there, and we were really able to just talk about some real stuff. We shared and we opened up some major things in people's lives. And one of the things I never want to do is expose an area in somebody's heart that may have been weak and not minister to that area, not give them the aid that they need to properly heal. So that's one of the reasons why I know that this healing and deliverance ministry is being birthed out of that conference, because God wanted us to create a safe space for people to come and to be able to talk about what's real in their lives and be able to find other people that are can relate to what they're what's going on with them, but have experience in that area and have grown and gone through it and been successful. They have powerful testimonies to be able to share with you how God can and He will deliver. God can and He will heal. God can and He will bring you out of a barren place. He can bring you to a place of restoration, and He can bring you to a fruitful place if you yield your members to Him. It ain't nothing too hard for God. I don't care how barren your situation may look. I don't care how broken you may be. God is well able. He's well able to heal. He's well able to put you back together again. The potter is able to take you and put you on His wheel and mold you afresh and make you into something new. It doesn't matter how much of a ashes and death may look like it's all around you, but He can bring beauty out of your ashes. I am a living witness. I've seen Him do it too many times, and I just believe God. I just believe that He ain't brought us this far to leave us. I believe that He still have a plan for our lives, and He have a desire to bring us to an expected end. And it's so important that we stay close to the altar and stay in His presence and allow Him to finish the work, because He began the work. It's up to us to stay in position so He can finish the work that He started in us. So y'all, I'm excited, and I hope to see you be a part of what God is getting ready to do. I hope that you can come alongside us and actually glean from us and get what you need to be the best version of yourself. So y'all, if it's the Lord's will, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But in the meantime, I want to encourage you to embrace and enjoy your journey. Goodbye for now.